Hey guys, you want it authentic? You're gonna get authentic. Today is a lazy kind of Saturday, very ratchet. We're here at Knoebels. It's my favorite place because the parking is free, the admission is free. Free, and what's my middle name?
Not free.
My middle name's not technically free, but I really enjoy free stuff, so.
Yeah, it's free.
Now, having driven 2.5 hours here, we expected kind of like, it to be low-key, you know, pandemic time. Knoebels is one of those parks you can just get to in the afternoon or evening. You don't really have to worry about much, but when we got to this parking lot, boy, were we surprised. It is a normal, absolutely normal Saturday. So I'm glad to be here, and we're gonna see what kind of procedures they have to protect us and get some rides on Phoenix and definitely the Splashy.
The Splashy?
The Splashy. It is packed here in Knoebels today, like to the brim with people. And everybody's kind of ignoring the markers on the floor, but there's really only like 2 markers on the floor, so I guess it's really easy to ignore. But you know what? They're wearing their masks, and that's what really matters, because we've been to places like Kentucky Kingdom where they're like, mask what? So, it's exciting. It's exciting to see people, you know, enjoying the summer and kind of like doing what they do. So it feels kind of normal, but also feels kind of not normal at the same time. I don't know if I'm describing that well, but I'm glad to be here. You know, we always have to focus on our gratitude, especially with this summer being what it was. So because we got here after 4 o'clock, we ended up qualifying for a sundown pass, which is $25 unlimited ride, which is cheaper than the normal price. What was it, 40?
40, yeah.
$44. So that's a good deal, especially if you know that you only want to ride the bigger coasters like Phoenix and Twister.
Doesn't include the Haunted Mansion, never does.
It does not include the Haunted Mansion. I'm not even sure if I'm familiar with the Haunted Mansion.
No, the all-day pass also doesn't include the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion has never been included on the wristbands.
Really?
And originally, when the wristbands came out, you could have, it covered everything but the coasters. And you could pay extra to include the coasters. Now they include the coasters, but still don't include the Haunted Mansion.
Interesting. So now I'm gonna have to ride this Haunted Mansion just to make sure that it is worth my dime.
All right, well, it's gonna be 25.
Okay. So this is actually Aaron's childhood home park, and he's missing a credit because he's never been aware that there is a ride in the back.
I've never even seen this park. This was not here before.
I'm not really sure. It's a roller coaster. It kind of seems like a dark ride to me, but they call it a credit. So we're gonna get it for Aaron today. It'll inflate your count.
Okay.
All right. How was the Black Diamond credit for you?
It was something to remember. I thought the theming was adorable.
Okay.
What do you call that? A family coaster?
I call it a dark ride, but I guess there's chain lifts and drops.
But you know what? Most people wouldn't notice those non-trim brakes along the way.
They were block sections.
Could you imagine if they would turn them off, how fast it would go?
Yes.
Probably like 7 miles an hour.
No, there was a trim on every single 10-foot hill on that roller coaster. And I wish that they would just like take the trims off so we could see the whole potential of that beast. But you know, they're doing a good job where they're at, right?
Yeah, for what it is. For what it is.
Are you ready to flume it up?
Of course, always. Always time for the one and only flume at Knoebels.
Knoebels flume, splashy time, right?
Oh yeah, major splash. So much splash.
I love water rides. We just got to Phoenix and it looks like it's closed.
Hopefully temporarily, because everybody's still waiting in line. We got this line all the way over here.
No airtime for you. I do want to check out the new sign though. I heard the new sign is awesome. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
Is that a replica of Phoenix? You know, whenever I come to this park, I never look at this little stuff.
Thank you.
Wow.
Apparently they're just sanitizing.
Oh.
So we could probably...
Phoenix is closed for sanitation, which is a good thing. And they probably have to clear out the line because the social distancing at this park is non-existent today. But check out this new sign.
There you go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, look at that. 2019.
I know, Golden Ticket Award flex. World's #1 best wooden coaster. That's to be debated, but you know, I like to see their little flex out here. Plus this new signage is pretty awesome. And here we have the soon-to-be reprofiled Flying Turns, which is going to be expanded or something. They're trying to fix it. I'm not really sure. Don't ask me what the sciencey details are, but I do know that this ride is going to be way more reliable when it reopens next season.
Do you know that for sure?
I don't, but I trust Knoebels' promise. They seem like a great park.
Yeah.
Who really cares about the patrons? So
Family. Oh, the spinning thing ain't working.
We're headed to Twister, and I personally loathe this ride. Aaron tried to co-sign my shit by saying that they get people to come back here through adding a Starbucks, which is neat. It's a nice little trick to get people to come back to this section. The coaster on the from the surface level appears to be like really neat, great track work. It's a unique layout, but the ride just never does it for me. So we'll see today. So like Twister still doesn't impress me, and I don't know what it is about this roller coaster. I see on YouTube that a lot of people like enjoy it. They think that it's like cool, you know, whatever. It's all right for what it is, but like there's like zero banking, so there's like all these sharp laterals, and then there's one huge helix, and then there's like 2 seconds of airtime at the end that you don't even feel.
There was a half a second somewhere in the middle too.
There wasn't no half a second. But like it's just not fun. It's like bumper cars, like you just shift to one side, then you shift to the other, then you shift back.
The track is different.
But you know, it was very smooth this year. It was kind of a lot of fresh wood, so it looks like they retracted it, and I guess that's as good as it gets. But you know, Twister, I ride it because there's only like 3 coasters here, and Phoenix is clearly the #1, so I ride it anyway out of like pity. But
And Impulse is closed.
and then Impulse is closed this year, so gotta do something. We're talking about this baby drop tower here, and I personally believe that these are some of the best drop towers in the world. They're not huge like those S&S towers or like those Mega Intamin towers. Obviously it's no Falcon's Fury, but like these little drop towers are the most insane. It feels like the drops are super crazy. You go up, you just one thing, you go straight down, and you don't get a second to think. I remember riding this particular drop tower on a hot sunny day, and I remember I could tell kind of like when we got to the top because I could see the shadow on the ground, but there's no shadow on the ground right now. So I don't know, I think that they're awesome, and I'm glad that Knoebels has one of these because you don't find them everywhere.
We'll see.
Oh, we'll see?
Yeah, we'll see.
That is 10 times scarier than the S&S Power Towers. Trust me.
Nice. It's the North Pole, Santa's thing. So
this
is
pole,
covered in ice.
This pole is typically an ice thing.
Yeah, it's an ice pole. Pole ice.
And this year it is closed for safety because people lick it.
People do all kinds of stupid shit.
So they don't want people touching it. It's one of those touchy things. I've been here. I don't think I've ever noticed this as frozen, but now it's kind of sad. But I'm glad that it's closed for your safety. And they don't want to turn it on anyway because there's really no point in just looking at something frozen. So. "2020 rides on Phoenix were still awesome." It's like we got assigned the front row because you know, COVID, and you have to sit where they tell you to sit, but like the front row was still packed with a lot of airtime. Aaron even said that since he lost a couple pounds. Well, you explain.
I'm just saying I kind of wish I was a little bit fatter so I could be wedged in there better, because I kept coming out. I had to lock myself in the bars because I kept.
The thing about those buzz bars is like it's so freeing, but like on Phoenix, where the airtime is so violent, it's like it always makes you feel like you're gonna fall out of the seat.
Because it's ejector, it throws you. Yeah,
it's non-stop ejector. So you better make sure your knees aren't too close to the front, but I love that. I live for that, so.
You ain't putting your hands up on that one.
Yeah, it's not their B&M floater.
Nope.
But you're not allowed to say anything bad about B&M, so. There's nothing for you to closed. Womp womp. But tell us about your favorite ride.
So traditionally, I always have to ride the haunted house when I'm here because it's my favorite ride.
Why is it your favorite?
I don't know. It just always has been since my first trip here. You know, with the school, grade school. I don't know. It was a thing. We got on the haunted house. It was always popular. It was always a wait for like a half an hour at least, and it was just, I don't know, it became my thing. I just love the haunted house.
So how do you feel now that it's closed?
Well, I guess I can't ride it this time, so.
And you didn't ride it last time?
I didn't ride it last time I was here, and up until then I was riding it every time I was here, and it hasn't changed any, but maybe this year it changed because it's broke.
And it was so reliable.
Yeah, you knew what to expect. You know, it was the best.
Dang. I'll tell you, great use of bridges around here. I feel like there's a bridge every 2 seconds.
Well, because there's a river everywhere.
Yeah, but is this a river?
A creek then.
It's a creek. If you're not from southeastern Pennsylvania, you probably don't know what a creek is, but it's a creek.
Well, it's a creek.
Nah, it's a creek. Thank you.
Exactly. Well, no, creek is the right way, but, you know.
It's a creek. Looks like it was stripped for parts.
Stripped for parts?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're trying to fix it or something.
So story time. Aaron was actually born at Knoebels. You know, he's from Knoebels. Tell us about your childhood at Knoebels. Your upcoming.
Well, it was just the local park. Unfortunately, my father never took me because he didn't like crowds. So the only time I got to go was if there was a school field trip or one of my friends happened to be going and took me with. But it's always a nice little place to come. And I mean, it is in the middle of the woods, so it's very rural. And, you know, I'm a backwoods hick, so, you know, it was a little...
You're both backwards and backwoods.
Yep, both. So, it's just, it's a nice place to hang out, you know.
What was your first experience with roller coasters and such? Didn't you get on Phoenix when you were little, but you were terrified?
Well, yeah, so the first coaster I got on was the Phoenix. And apparently, I was so terrified from the experience that I was a different color when I got off. And that gave me the fear of roller coasters until you. The only coaster that I would get on was the high-speed thrill coaster, which was the kiddie coaster at Knoebels, which is now, what?
Cosmos Curve.
Yeah, Cosmos Curve. They replaced it with a now.
Yeah, they're two different coasters, so that's 2 different credits.
Yeah, so they completely replaced that, and then I did ride that a few years ago with my niece. And I also rode the Phoenix and the Twister with my niece, because she's a little braver than I am. But thanks to you, you got me over the fear of the Phoenix, and I was actually thinking about that on the way here. So
you're talking about back, so when we first met, like 2013, 14, I think 14 would have been our first time coming here, about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we gotta ride the wooden roller coasters, and he was like, I don't know if I like roller coasters, and we rode Phoenix and Twister that day, and then he was kind of like, all right, this is something I can do. So every park that we went through, he got on, you know, more and more roller coasters. But what I will admit is that Phoenix, like, even though it's a small coaster and people view it as a classic woody, it's pretty intense, and the airtime is pretty aggressive. So like, I couldn't imagine being 8 and having like no experience with roller coasters.
I was very young. I was just tall enough to ride with a person. So yeah, I was probably like 8, maybe 10. And it was a lot. It was a lot. But here we are. Awesome. Now I just call coasters cute.
Yeah, the ones that are aggressive. If you ever hear Aaron say that a coaster is cute, that means that it scared the crap out of him.
Well, I wouldn't say all that. I'm just saying I noticed it. It had a personality.
I worked hard all week, so why not have a Dole Whip?
Dole Whip.
Dole Whip. Dole Whip floats, orange and orange, and Dole sampler, $10. Money well spent. Hey guys, so Impulse is down and Flying Turns is being reprofiled and kind of adapted into something new. which sounds great. Those are not really letdowns because when you think about it, Knoebels is free and clean, and it kind of makes up for like whatever they could possibly lack, because you're not really like spending a whole lot of money to be in here, so it's always an awesome experience.
What? It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
And it was in that minute that I realized I messed up. I was just trying to get some footage with this guy and this baby. Have a good day. One of my favorite things about Knoebels is you can bring dogs in, and I don't even have a dog, but if I did, I would bring them to Knoebels. It's like, it's so cool to see a theme park where you just have dogs walking around everywhere like it's nobody's business. So I think that's cool. My cat probably would not enjoy herself here because she's kind of full of anxiety anyway. But definitely bring your dogs if you want. And there's camping and pavilions and all kinds of fun stuff. So for my final thoughts, I have to do something different. You know, you can't really score Knoebels because it's not really comparable to other parks. Of course, it would fall like much lower than a Cedar Fair park, but like Knoebels has something that a lot of parks don't have: free admission and a world-class coaster. So you have like, you know, there's small park charm, classic rides, a lot of things that you can't find anywhere anymore. The food is great, there's a hometown feel, and there's a whole lot of charm that really set this park aside. So I think the Knoebels is a great place just to hang out, you know, if you want to ride the Phoenix or just kind of like vibe out on a Saturday night when you don't really have a whole lot going on. Yeah, so Knoebels always wins in my book. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and whether you're coming here for rides or not, you're always going to have a good time. There's something for everybody to enjoy themselves with.
And a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Well,
Even if you're an elderly.
Oh my God. There was a video where I said something about the elderly, or I said, if you're an elderly, I apologize. It came out wrong, you know, if that makes sense.
Just cut that out.
Good night.